Hello there, and welcome, racing fans, to Motorsports Radio, MR1, home of motorsports talk. And today we're talking about the last regular season NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race, the Federated Auto Parts 400. The winner, Denny Hamlin, driving the number 11 car, who led 189 laps. However, the most laps led was Martin Truex Jr., and he led 193. It was the Martin Truex Jr. show for a little bit until Denny Hamlin took over, and here we go with the breakdown. It's the race recap. Federated Auto Parts 400, Richmond International Raceway, 400 laps, 300 miles, but we went to 407. Denny Hamlin was the pole setter, driver of the 11 car. Kyle Larson in the 42 car started in second. Starting third was Matt Kenseth in the number 20 car. National Marine Corps Band National Anthem with T-38s flying over from Langley Air Force Base, and the green flag dropped at 7:47 p.m. Eastern Time. The final showdown of the regular season underway, and it's the chasers and those looking to be chasers. A nighttime battle for a spot on the grid. Short track racing on top of all of that. Short track and short tempers. A full wide salute to the fans during the pace laps, and a crowd gets loud, and this was neat. 7:47, drop of the green flag, and the pole to Denny Hamlin takes off. Top 5, lap 5, Denny Hamlin, Matt Kenseth, Kyle Larson, Jamie McMurray, and Kurt Busch. Now, Martin Truex Jr. stole the show, Denny Hamlin stole the show, but also the caution flag stole the show. And now, question number 1 will come out lap 11, and this would be for Ryan Blaney, who was looking to get into the chase. He goes into the wall between turns 1 and 2. Apparently, a tire cut caused, and the tire goes down and then turned into the wall. So we have a green flag back at lap 16. Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, and Matt Kenseth making up the top 3. The top 5 at lap 25 would be Denny Hamlin, Matt Kenseth, Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, and Martin Truex Jr. Not much of a gap between the top 5. Truex Jr. moves up to 3rd, Kyle Larson down to 7th. So now we have the 11, the 20, and the 78. Truex Jr. at lap 45 climbs up to 2nd. Denny Hamlin still in the lead, but hold on. Truex Jr. lap 51 becomes the new race leader. So it's Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, and Matt Kenseth in the top 3. And Truex Jr., recorded at lap 55, had a 1 second lead on second place. Now second place Denny Hamlin, 1.5 seconds at lap 61. Now Kyle Busch dominated Friday's Xfinity Series race, and it looked like Truex Jr. wanted to dominate Saturday's Sprint Cup Series race. Truex Jr.'s lead at lap 70 was a 3.580, or a 3.6. The 78 getting into the lap traffic, and with a 4.6 lead at lap 77. 23 cars on the lead lap at this time. Danica Patrick, she'd be the last car in the lead lap, and then we have question number 2, AJ Allmendinger. He gets loose and spins. Allmendinger in the 47 car. We've got a restart at lap 91. So we have Denny Hamlin, Truex Jr., and Kyle Busch now the top 3, and it looked like the Belt Parkway out there. But then Chase Elliott into the wall. He goes into the wall, brings out question number 3. Chase Elliott contacted by Jeff Gordon in the 88. Now the 88, it's going to be split, Jeff Gordon and Alex Bowman, so those want to know about that. So we got a restart lap 100. No change in the top 3. A fight for the lead now, though, between Denny Hamlin and Truex Jr. Truex Jr. getting by Denny Hamlin to retake the lead. Truex Jr., Matt Kenseth, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and Jamie McMurray, top 5, lap 125. Truex Jr. with a 1.5 second lead on Matt Kenseth now, who has moved into second. Now we have 24 cars on the lead lap at lap 128, with Chase Elliott in the 24th position in the 24 Chevrolet. And the cars looked like they were moving in slow motion, average speed in the 120s. And so Truex Jr., Kenseth, Denny Hamlin remained the top 3 from lap 105 all the way through lap 187. And this would be the one and only round of green flag pit stops Denny Hamlin and Ryan Newman the first to come in. Top 5 lap 195 was Truex Jr., Matt Kenseth, Denny Hamlin, Kurt Busch, and Brad Keselowski. And then lap 201 brings out the caution for the fourth time of the evening on Saturday. The 48 car of Jamie Johnson goes into the wall at the entrance of turn 1. Down tire was the culprit. Crazy part was that the 48 team was trying to keep the 48 out there during that last round of green flag pit stops, and the strategy was to wait for a caution. Unfortunately, the 48 car would wind up bringing out that fourth caution. The restart would be at lap 212. Truex Jr. still in the lead, and it was the Martin Truex Jr. show on Saturday, dominating Richmond International Raceway, at least for the first half of the race anyway. And then we have Kurt Busch in second. So now, top 5 lap 215, Truex Jr., Kurt Busch, Denny Hamlin, Matt Kenseth, and Brad Keselowski sitting in fifth. Lap 222 would bring caution number 5, and this would be for debris. Restart lap 227, Truex Jr. still in front. Kurt Busch grabs the lead briefly after that restart. However, Truex Jr. took that lead right back, and Kurt Busch was the new lead at lap 229. Truex Jr. retakes the lead at lap 231. Top 5 lap 245, Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, Matt Kenseth, Denny Hamlin, and Carl Edwards. Also lap 245, caution number 6. And this would be for the 23 car, tire down, the 23 car driven by David Reagan. Restart would be lap 251. And Matt Kenseth, uncontrolled tire, and also, what else? Austin Dillon speeding on pit road. Kevin Harvick speeding on pit. But Matt Kenseth, man, and Matt Kenseth, we'll get into that in a second. So the restart lap 251, 149 laps left. Denny Hamlin still in the lead. Top 5 lap 251. Denny Hamlin, Kurt Busch again in second. Carl Edwards in third. Now in fourth was Kyle Busch. Truex Jr. drops down to fifth. He had a little issue on pit road with the left rear tire gun, and Matt Kenseth, man, drops down to 22nd. And now, okay, you get sent back to the longest line. Okay, not all the way to the back. It's the longest line. So if you're the lead car, whichever, so you got the two cars, 2x2, right? So whichever line of the lead cars is the longest, that's where they send you to. But now, so Kurt Busch looking to take the lead away from Denny Hamlin, but see, it was basically the caution flag all day long, all night long, I should say. But the lap 265, this would bring out caution number 7, and this would be for the 27 car. Paul Menard. He goes into the wall. Contact from Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s number 17 car on Menard's inside sent the 27 spinning. Restart lap 272. But now we have Kyle Larson in the lead. Denny Hamlin, however, does retake that lead. Truex Jr. wound up dropping down to 19th. This is why. Question number 7. Truex Jr. speeding on pit road. And that would kill you every time. So now Casey Mears wrecks lap 279. This brings out question number 8, and this was an incident between the 13 and the 93. The 13 spins, they made contact. The 13 spins. 13 is Casey Mears. The 93 Matt Di Benedetto. So this brings out question number 8. We go back to green now. Denny Hamlin still in the lead now. So it was. Truex Jr. had a share of taking care of business, and so did Denny Hamlin. And it looked clear that one of these two was going to win. I thought for sure. And if you looked at this race, it looked like maybe Truex Jr. was going to try to go for this win. But then Denny Hamlin just came in and put a wrench into things here. Now, question number 9 comes out for Michael Annett. Okay, now Truex Jr., remember, he dropped back down to, I believe, after that, speeding on pit road, drops down to 19th, worked his way back up to 3rd. So go back to green lap 296. Kyle Larson now back in the lead. Truex Jr. eventually works his back way up to 3rd. Denny Hamlin drops down to 6th. And then we have Casey Kane running 2nd. So now, Casey Kane, because remember, Casey Kane wasn't on was on point. So whoever is trying to get in on points, if you're going for a crazy win, you're in there for sure. So that's what makes the chase so interesting. So we get to lap 300 now. Now the lap 300 would start the last 100 laps. So now the number 5, Casey Kane, chasing Kyle Larson's 42 car. And it wasn't until Truex Jr. moves up to second, and now a fight for first between the 42 and the 78. Lap 304, Martin Truex Jr. back in the lead, and the Martin Truex Jr. show continues. Top 5, lap 305. Truex Jr., Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Casey Kane, and Greg Biffle. The 78-11 and the 42 in the top 3, and it was the 78-11 and the 20 as Matt Kenseth works his way back up to third place. So that's how you know you got some good drivers. If you get sent back all the way to 22nd place and you work your way back up into third, and and on a short track, that is some skilled driving. Especially when you see drivers that never make it nowhere near the top 10, right? And I'm not going to mention no names, but so this is some skilled drive. Plus, of course, the kind of car you have is beneficial as well. But, if you got some really good equipment and alongside someone that actually can drive that car with some really good skills, that's what makes a good race car driving. Boy, racing looks, whew. I'll put it out there. I want to drive one of those cars. That's right. I could drive it. I could drive one. Question number 10, 321. Carl Edwards, he spins, goes back to green, and then we have question number 11. This one is for AJ Allmendinger. Now, Denny Hamlin's still in the lead right now after this restart at question 10. 11, and then we get number 12, question 12, 336. Matt Kenseth into the wall, turn 3, man. And a possible tire cut from the number 2 car. And ladies and gentlemen, this right here would end Matt Kenseth's day on Saturday. Kansas number 20 car had to get towed, and we all know, okay, who drives the number 2 car. And I'll give you some credit because, not a lot of people are too happy about Keselowski, and, I like his teammate Joe Logano, but, and what happened was with this is that, Keselowski apparently missed a shift, and he started going in there and then got into Matt Kenseth, and Matt Kenseth into the wall, which I think it was the infield wall, right? He got loose, and they wanted him in the infield wall, and they sent the tow truck out. So Matt Kenseth's day was done at this point. So they finally go back to green. We had another question, number 13, for AJ Allmendinger again, and then Denny Hamlin. Okay, so it was Denny Hamlin and Truex Jr. But now I want to fast forward to question number 14, and this one was the one that was the dramatic one and actually brought out the red flag. Actually, question 15. Question 14 was for something else. I forget what it was. Matthew Benedetto. But question 15. Now, if you saw this race and you saw Ryan Newman with his interview afterwards, Ryan Newman was just behind Jamie McMurray in the point standings, and he got penalized. We talked about last week, so he was 20-something points down from Jamie McMurray, trying to get a win, and here's what happens. Question number 15. This is for a multi-car wreck. Again, red flag, the 31 and the 14 get together, and a bunch of other cars get collected. A couple of cars on fire, drivers involved. There was the 14, the 19, the 23, the 31, the 44, the 47, and the 83. And this one was crazy. So I guess the 31 kind of bumped them a little bit on the side, and then the 14 just went boom and sent him spinning. The 31 got wrecked, 14 got wrecked, 19 almost got wrecked, Carl Edwards, and everyone else just got collected. So it was Tony Stewart and Ryan Newman, that's how it all started, and Carl Edwards, Brian Scott, AJ Allmendinger, and Matthew Benedetto, kind of in the wrong place at the wrong time. And they had that TV interview with Ryan Newman, NBC Sports did it during the race, saying Ryan Newman saying that Tony Stewart is bipolar. He went as far as to say that he said that Tony Stewart might have thought he was in a sprint car again, referring to that unfortunate incident. And note that this question. So now Tony Stewart kind of has a reputation of being a hothead. And he does have a habit of bumping into you, apparently, because if you've been watching long enough. And you had that incident last week with Brian Scott, which I thought for sure that Tony Stewart was going to get suspended for that one. So, and